what you're going to be committed to, what you're going to fight for, what you're going to work. A friend of mine, I was playing golf with cystic fibrosis, foundation of some two sports that we've done. We were playing golf, he showed up with pink pants and his red Ferrari. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. Because he was real funny throughout the day. And I go, what do you do? This is before we came friends. I go, you're an interesting guy. What are you all about? He goes, can I tell you my story? I'm like, do I want to hear it? He goes, I think you might like it. I go, okay. He goes, you seem like a smart cat. I go, I am a smart cat. He says, well, pay attention to your life. I said, I'm in. I'm dialed in. Let's go. So he began to tell you, I was on the course in Toronto with my buddy, and we were smoking a joint. And I'm like, are you serious? Because I'm serious. And I had an epiphany. I think that's what you call it. He said, it was a dream. I said, for real, you're on the course and playing golf and you had a dream. He goes, it really happened. He goes, it was so much so that even when I came down from being high, I still had a dream. I go, what was the dream? He goes, I wanted to go buy and build a vineyard that would make wine. I go, man, that's incredible. He goes, yeah, I was so inspired. It meant something to me. I made every effort. I spent all my money, and I got some money to loan, and I bought a little piece of property in Northern California, wine country, that I was going to make wine, and I was going to become rich. Come on. He was all excited, filled with the hope of promise. Come on. When you walk out of here, you're going to feel all good about yourself, all the taxes. So he got all excited, and he got to his vineyard, and he's got to give all of his orders to his people. I want you to plant these seeds. He bought all the right seeds to produce the harvest that he was hoping it was going to be big. And they said, sir, you can't do that. What do you mean? I just bought the land. I spent all my money. I spent all this. He said, no, you've got to dig up all the bad seeds, and you've got to break up all the bad ground. They didn't tell me that when you signed up, when you bought the vineyard, that that's what you're going to have to do. So he said for 2.5 years, he dug up the hard ground, and he had to dig up bad seeds. He said it was horrible because he said, I thought I was going to make money in my first 1.5 years, and he said, I had a collection agency call me, come on, 888 numbers. They're all the ones that you don't know that you avoid hitting them at 5:30 at night, come on. He said, I hated it. He said it was horrible. He said, then I finally came to the end of almost 3 years, and they said, okay, let's plant some seeds and let's get it in the ground back. They said, sir, you're going to have to plant seeds for 2 years. He said there was no way out. I'd already committed all my being to this dream. He says for the next 2 years, I sowed new seeds. It's like you're working your land, sowing new seeds for a harvest. He didn't know what would happen. He said at the end of the 5-year period, he said, come on guys, gather up, I want to see the wine. I need to make some money. I've gone broke. That's not, he's to the point that of quitting over and over and over and over and over and resigning himself. And people told him to go back to school, do normal, do the usual. He goes, no, I'm different. This is my difference. I want to do this. They said, sir, we can't give you a wine right now. You have to let it sit in a bottle and sit on the shelf for a couple of years. He goes, I can't afford to do that. He says, you have one option. You can let the wine go to waste, or you can let it sit there. He goes, what if I can do about everything else? They said, just tell them to keep them at bay. Keep working what you got. So he sat and said, I had to watch my wine in the bottle for 2 years. Finally, they gave me your can. He said, I had no idea what it was about to find. They popped the cork. And he said, at that point, he wasn't even that excited anymore. They popped the cork. And little did he know, a broke guy was a dream. He was broke in his bank, but he was rich in his dream. They popped the cork. Out came the wine. They began to pour it. And little did he know, he was sitting on a 100-point wine. And if you know anything about wine, that would be like winning the Super Bowl 50 years in a row. Made him $500 million. He goes, I was tempted to give up my dream, but I had to fight the delay, I had to fight the distraction, and I had to fight the disappointment so that I could make sure that my dream wasn't a fantasy, but I had to make sure my dream was a reality. I thought, holy schmoly, that guy's on to something right there. Maybe that's why there's not too many Christians in the world. Because people start, but then they have frustration, defeat, setbacks. It was nice, I'll get inspired for 4 years. Maybe if that Anthony Robbins guy comes to town, maybe if that Dallin Larson guy comes to town, then I'll do it, whatever. Isn't that like most of our lives? What would you do right now to change your life? 1 decision, 2 decisions. What do you put off that needs immediate attention right now? That if you did it right now, you feel great, you feel momentous. Make a decision. property in which the space needle sits. Famous guy, famous story, documented true story that I'm about to tell you. It's his own story. He said at 7 years old, he contracted polio, and there was no cure for it at the time. He said it wasn't long before the doctor said, you know what, you won't be able to move your body, you'll be paralyzed. He said you'll be incapacitated, and he said, you know, you're just going to have to learn how to survive. Sure enough, his body became paralyzed from the waist down, actually right above his chest, all the way down. He couldn't move. His mama did not know what to do with him because he was paralyzed. She had household chores, other brothers and sisters. His family believed in God, but their faith was not strong enough, they thought, to overcome the adversity, to make something out of it. So she decided to make him a box. She made him a wooden box, and she put him in the box at 7 years of age, BP in the box, and she put a rope on it, true story, yellow rope, and she would pull him from room to room, wherever she went, so she could keep an eye on him when she did her household chores. BP was in the box, he would talk to himself, 7-year-old, he would sing to himself. They didn't have a TV up there, so he couldn't watch TV, and the mom didn't want to watch the TV all the time, which nowadays all the parents want their kids to watch TV. Come on. So she pulled him from room to room in his box. BP would sit there and make the most of his box. But one day she decided, I'm going to put a mirror in front of BP so maybe he can entertain himself because it's got to be a little bit boring in the box. So at 8 years old, BP's in his box, and he's, playing, he's talking to himself and entertaining, and the mom puts a mirror right in front of him, and he's sitting there and making faces at himself. Come on, don't act like you don't even do that. I watch some of you drive. Come on. Some of you with your makeup, some of your plucking hair. Come on, guys. Stop the makeup. One day he's looking in the mirror and he really saw himself. This is so documentary. He says, while I was looking in the mirror, he said that Jesus appeared to him in the mirror. True story. He said, he gave me a picture of myself walking and running. And he told me, you will run. He said, as soon as that vanished, he said, I saw myself living outside the box. This is at 8 years old. So immediately, he tried to move, and he found out he was still paralyzed. But from that moment, he saw his life outside the physical box and outside the emotional box, and he tried to begin to make movement. His mom said, what are you doing? He said, I see myself walking and running, Mom. BP, there's no cure for it. You're going to be okay. One day when you get to heaven, it'll all be good. But just sit in your box and be good for Mama. Okay, Mama. Because what he see was too real. The outside cannot tell the whole story. What he saw inside was more than what he was demonstrating and living. He sat there. He finally started to gain a little bit of momentum, and he started to begin to move in his box. 8 years old, 9 years old, and finally he learned how to rock a little bit in his box. He's rocking the box, and I said, what are you doing? He says, Mama, one day I'm going to run up and down the walk. BP, that's never going to happen. Stop moving. Okay, Mama. BP, come on, stop that right now. I'll take the mirror away from you. That's okay, Mama. I already saw myself. Come on, some of your bosses say, you'll do this entry-level position. You'll always make this level of money. There's a ton, and we're downsizing. We're doing this, we're doing that. Why are you getting involved in market level? Making money this way. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? People always want to question. Their wives want to break your will. But you're still here in 2011. Moving in your body. Maybe it's a box of shame you hate yourself. Maybe it's a box of guilt. You feel bad for what you did in 1986. And you believe that your past determines your future. God never consults your past to determine your future. I know a God that can defeat your past, He can bury your past. It's up to you to stop resuscitating dead corpses. At 10 years old, he rocked the corner, fell over. His mom, what did you do, BP? I can't fall and I can't get up. She picked him up and she put him in the box. What was interesting is, every year BP got a little older, they made him a little bit of a bigger box. But every every box he found himself in. BP, you know you can't move, you fell out. Oh, I know, Mama. What are you doing? One day I'm going to walk and run, Mama. It can't happen to you. You heard the doctors. They said it would never happen. You know that it can't happen. They said you can't. They said you can't. They said you can't. They said you can't. Oh, I know what they said, Mama, but I see myself outside the box. Watch. He fell out again. 12 years of age. This time he tried to nestle enough energy on his elbows to move, but he felt like he had no physical power. Trying to make a move. He was trying to make a move. He was trying to make a move. His mom comes and says, BP, stop crying, son. Don't you know? Didn't you understand that this horrible thing, it won't let you ever walk again? I don't want you to be disappointed. I know what you imagine fantasizing in your mind. Just like the cartoon, BP. It'll never happen. She put it back in the box. BP, I'm watching you. 13 years of age, 13 and a half years of age, rocking the box. Some of you are rocking the box. You've been rocking the box since you've been young. You've been rocking the box with all kinds of stuff inside you. Limitations put on you by other labels, other people attached to you, saying you couldn't, you shouldn't, you must. You got out of my shirt, it's going to burn on that. He rocked the box and fell over, and he made his way all the way over to a chair. He started trying to pick himself up, and he fell. And one last time, the mom and dad took him to the box. They said, BP, it'll never happen. And he said he stopped there for a minute, he said, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe it won't happen. But I tried to give it one more shot. So when she wasn't looking, he said, I'm going to try to rock this as hard as I can rock. He hit the ground. And he said, he couldn't wait for the moment to get this moment. What happened? Nothing. All of the body that he had gained by rocking the box. He didn't have the power, but he was working the power even in the box. Big and small places. You might be in the job you don't like, but you're thinking big and small places. You might not be in the place you want to be in your body, but you're still here, you're still talking about what's going to happen, you're still praying. Isn't the struggle proof that you've not been conquered yet? Then he goes, he climbs over, he grabs the table, he starts trying to run. His mom walks over, BP, what are you doing? You can get in your box. No, Mama. He's shaking. He's shaking, he doesn't have much strength, he doesn't have much stamina. He's holding on, he's never been up before. Since age 7, he's now 15, 8 years. He's 8 years old. BP, she starts to walk. BP, get in your box. No, Mama, I'm not going into that box no more. I'm not meant to live in that box no more. I'm smarter than that box. I'm more than that box. I'm stronger than that box. He's holding on. Legs work. He's trying one step. His mom comes and makes one last ditch effort to get him. And he says, no, Mama! He takes off running for the first time in his life. He ran around his room. His mom was chasing him in the kitchen. Get back in your box! No, I'm never going back to that box. I'm never going back to that box. I'm never going back to that box. That day, what he saw when no one else was watching, what he dreamed about when no one else thought was possible, what he was working in the dark, that everyone thought he was a fool, when everyone thought he was an idiot. He refused to take no for an answer. He refused to get past. He stayed radical. And one day, he read his box. What if this was your moment to read your box? I know what society tells me. I know that they're about to say about to go through another recession. Is that box going to determine what you do? Or are you to get back to the driver's seat of your life? Here's a story, man. Little boys in church. Favorite storyteller. Little boys in church. The pastor speaks in a sermon. Little boys stand up. Yeah, preach it. Obviously, you can tell they wear white shirts. Who else am I? All the white people. The little preacher kept preaching. Yeah. Speak it, Mom. Sit down, shut up. Whatever. Boy, sat down. Start moving, come on, you're feeling it, come on. Some of you need to feel it again, come on. Watch. Mom says, stop it. You're going to get in trouble. One more time. He gets up and goes, yeah, preach it, man. Everyone turns around. Come on, Mom's so full of the gospel than this woman, come on. Use your imagination, come on. When she walks in the aisle, come on, she's moving people's makeup off their face. Baby got back. Come on. If you do it again, I'm taking away your weed for a week. He sat there, folded his hands, put a grin on his face, and he was all mad. Looking at his mom with a stare. His mom goes, oh, what? What do you got to say about that? He says, I might be sitting down on the outside, but I'm screaming and I'm jumping and I'm standing up and I'm yelling and being quiet on the inside. But he said, you know what? Stuff might happen on the outside. But come on. There's a giant inside of you. There's something inside you. You're still here. There's something inside you. There's got to be more. Come on. I can't stop. I can't settle. It's time for me to admit myself. My name is, my life is out. You're about to write history. Someone's about to break out. Someone's about to make some money. Someone's going to grow some carrots. Someone's going to would it change what you order off the menu for the rest of your life? Or will this be another day of, oh, that was neat. He was kind of funny. He sweated a little bit. I saw him at that one conference with about 10,000 people. He was funny there too, whatever. Will you be a fan or will you be fruitful with what you heard today? Fruitful. My plan, hopefully, I come and all I do is stimulate what's inside you. That's what I came here for. I came here out of partnership. I don't partner with others. I tell people all the time, companies call me, they offer me a lot of money. A lot. And I say to them, do you really do that? Yeah, I like those people that write movies that you go and watch. They offer me certain amounts of hours to coach them. And I say, no, thank you. I say, why do you do that? Because I just drive you. What drives me is where the people want to go. And I know there's people in this city that work, Jerry and Mike, that are determined this is your life to go to a whole other level. And I say, you know, I want to be a part of that. Sometimes life pushes us down, but I think we're powerful together. We put a bunch of partners together, we dream together, we get together, we work together, stuff starts happening. Synergy, energy, not only make decisions, they create movement and they create momentum. That brings change in our lives. How will you frustrate to do different? Time to do different. Thank you guys very, very much.